Resident Evil 5, a game about stopping geopolitically marginalized communities as a white man, or at least that's what Twitter thinks this game is. Ignoring the overarching message of fighting against the abusive, decentralized societies gives Twitter users a sense of purpose as they call you out for your morality that has been unilaterally considered wrong by people who have nothing better to do than sit on their ass all day on a forum. Kinda throwing stones from a glass house, I am a YouTuber after all due to my diabolical issues with ADHD, meaning my only chance to make a living is by giving my brain the smallest levels of dopamine by making my job about topics I got addicted to for a slim chance to one day exploit my viewers and tell them to gamble. Shout out XQC. Of course I am joking, if I was only in it for the money, I'd make This waste ain't getting wasted working 9 to 5. Where was I? Oh yes, Resident Evil 5. Beginning the game, Chris Redfield drives towards a small village in pursuit of rumors of a bioweapons dealer. He works for the BSAA, an organization formed after the fall of Raccoon City to prevent deadly instances of bioterror from ever happening again. Arriving, Chris meets his new partner, Sheva Alomore, but has a rough flashback to his old partner, Jill, passing away. But ignore that. What the fuck is this camera setting? Oh my fucking god, I had to play left-handed? Oh... Why would they do this? This has to be racist. They're trying to make playing the black woman more unappealing. Are you kidding me? This is bullshit, Capcom. Bullshit. Maybe Twitter should cancel this game. Imagine having to have a left camera perspective. If you're left-handed, you're weird as hell. Dignity be damned, I play with a left shoulder perspective, meeting our contact who supplies us with weapons, along with information about what we're after. Ouroboros. Basically, Ouroboros is a what-if COVID-19 turned you into a giant intertwining testicle man. Anyways, because this is a new game plus, I get my old weapons. You might think that's OP and it'll make the game too easy for me. You would be wrong. Damn it. Yo, son. Yo, Chris. Yo, Chris. What? Get up. What? I die at max HP from a one-hit fucking wonder. That's right. Just like that, barely minutes into Resident Evil 5, I had already died. Oh well, time to restart. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the funny highlights of our second run attempt, because why would I make the same video twice? I know people are going to be like, well, you played Claire last time, play Leon this time, come on, bro. We need Leon. We need Leon content, but it's Claire. It's Claire Redfield. You know what? I'm not even mad I died anymore. I get to see Claire Redfield's fine ass. Why is it so round? That's not natural. That's not real. I'm predicting it right now. Resident Evil 5 is gonna be probably one of the harder games for me, personally. Way to foreshadow, TJ. Jesus. And way to get jump scared. Claire is just straight up. Yo, what are you doing? Yo, get off him. Yo.
Take a look.
Oh my God, you made it.
I probably would still be alive if I played this game when I had optimal. I was asleep. That's your pussies. That's not fun. Where's the entertainment in that? Well, guys, look, he's so good at this game. He never died once. This is so entertaining, guys. He did a no-death run. You know, I gotta like nerf myself a little bit. I'm too good at this game. What if I shoot the kid with a Nerf gun? I can't say that. Is that it? Look at my health. Look at my health. Look at my health. Is he not dead? Oh my god, please die. Please die. Please die. Please let that be it. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh! Like, what do you do against that? What do you do? What do you do? Can you stop the dick riding? Oh my god! So you might be saying, TJ, you need to play as Leon. You've played Claire twice. We're playing Claire again. After that setback, I was able to finish RE3 and RE4. Nothing funny happened in RE4, but something that was funny was what happened 40 minutes into my second RE5 attempt. I need more bullets. I need more bullets. I need more bullets. What? What? I thought that was like a cutscene or something. What the fuck was I supposed to hit? I'm gonna restart. I just want to see how the fuck do I survive? Do I hit these? I'm such a... Oh my god! So yeah, that really sucked. But I'm not gonna make you watch highlights for a half hour, so let's get back to RE4, specifically Ada Wong. You see, during the game, while Leon was saving Ashley, Ada Wong and Lewis was acquiring an object of ill omen called the Amber. She was employed by Albert Wesker, a former STARS member who was a genetically modified human created by Umbrella. Throughout the game, she saves Leon, holding off a giant during the witch hunt, getting the supplies for Lewis to make them a cure, as well as eventually betraying Wesker, refusing to give him the Amber. Unfortunately, Wesker recovered Krauser's body and was able to get what he needed anyways, with his plan for a weapon that will wipe billions off the planet set in motion. Billions of casualties. Oh. Anyways, going back to the start of RE5, and I died the exact same way. No! I think it was Albert Einstein who said doing something over and over and over again causes insanity, but actually I disagree. What causes insanity is the mind-numbing idiocracy the AI in this game is capable of. A kangaroo with AAA batteries shoved up its ass has better survival sense than this nitwit. And this is not the only time the lobotomized AI makes me question my spiritual purpose in this universe. It gets worse. But anyways, 15-ish hours later, I'm back for blood. And I'm with a vengeance. Motherfucker! Nah, I'm just kidding. I actually killed him, which I've never done before. With air support from Kirk, we were able to push forward through the village using the ancient art of pimp food to smack a hoe. Locating Delta Team, we approached our leader who warned us of a creature who attacked them, and what do you know? It's a testicle man. Sometimes the lobotomized AI pays off as I outplayed the beast watching it burn to mush. Killing some Las Plagas infected, I made it back to the scene of my stupidity, overcoming what was once stupid?
But hang on, TJAAM, you said Las Plagas. I thought that was RE4, and I'm a smart bird. Even though I know the Amber was recovered by Wesker, they would have the red tentacle look, not the whatever that is.
Oh, you poor thing. It's clear you only took biology in high school. Class is in session, ladies and gents. Today's subject is virology, a branch of biology. You see, a virus is like a USB drive, or a butt plug. It searches for a hole, in this case, the host body, and plugs itself right into your cells. Viruses, similar to humans, have DNA or RNA, and instead of doing microscopic intercourse, use your cells to reproduce. Because of your unique genetic signature, the virus is almost always different from person to person. But it's really only different at a technical scale, not a functional scale. But occasionally it actually ends up changing how the virus works. Now what I just explained to you is actually worthless. Las Plagas is a parasite, but Ouroboros is not. Ouroboros is a unique virus as so far it hasn't shown signs of actually evolving. Instead, the virus is compatible with only 1% of humans. So when it binds to the DNA, you either become Albert Wesker or eat and look like shit. So how come Las Plagas is different? Simple, actually. Parasites also evolve, albeit at an extremely slow rate compared to viruses. But forced evolution for a parasite isn't outrageous. We actually do that to parasites in real life to learn more about them. So while we don't know what they exactly did to the Las Plagas parasite, we do know it is very different now. Now you may be asking why you're sitting at home having a digital blue bird explain basic virology to you, and the simple answer is I was bored and learned virology while writing the script. Whoa! After seeing Sheva implode a man's head, she attempts to sabotage the run. Move! Even this little rat was yanking on my headphone cords as he sat in my lap. Kirk crashed the helicopter, R.I.P. Kirk, and we meet Josh, Sheva's old mentor, who points us towards the mines to find Ouroboros being transferred by Irving. He also gives us information which showed that Jill Valentine is actually alive. Plot twist! The mine sucked. I couldn't see, and Sheva couldn't aim, but that's nothing new. We got up to Irving, but a mysterious plague woman dropped in, exfilling both of them to safety, with me and Sheva pushing onward to hopefully catch up to them. Fuck! Sheva!
Don't be reckless.
Help a white boy out, Sheva. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? What? What? What did she even die to? She never even got low. But the challenge is if I die. Not if my partner dies. It's if I die. That's right. I win! Say, oh, you cheated, TJAAM. Oh, it doesn't count. Oh my goodness. I don't give a fuck! After injecting enough copium to turn into the prime schizo 2020 deep state fraud election deniers, I fight the scorpion spider bat bitch who eats the waste exited from the gluteal buttocks of a human individual. Shit. A vehicle from Josh's squad picks us up as we lay oppressive fire against the Plagas infected trying to run us off the road, eventually fighting Irma! Unfortunately, said mother killed Josh's team with him being MIA. With most hope lost, it was looking like the mission was a failure, and Sheva was ready to bail until Chris explained he had to stay to see if his old partner Jill was really alive. And of course, Sheva stayed because she's goated. Not her skill though, she's really just moral support at this point. I don't even give her ammunition. She threatens to pick up my handgun rounds. We boat through the marshlands, fighting the infected tribes, eventually reaching a facility owned by Tricell, spotting Irving heading inside. Hook. Get him, Sheva. Where are you? Get him. Go kick him. Oh my god! Hook him. Kick him. Kick him! Oh my god! Hook him, Sheva, please. Kick him. Please! Josh finds us, and together we chase after Irving, who escaped on his yacht. But when we caught up, he infected himself with, I don't know, and turned into a squid. The fight went well, but hot damn, look at this ugly ass bitch. Irving informed us in our...
Hey idiot, you were supposed to read the script right and say, his, not our, you fucking moron.
dying moments that we were screwed regardless, and that we should go into a nearby cave to find answers. So obviously, we went. Woo! Oh yeah. Deeper in the cave, another rodent descended to induce another psychotic episode. I'm trapped. Oh my fuck. Holy fuck, I'm cooked. 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 No, I'm not okay. Luckily, I survived, but my day was already ruined. Don't worry, I'll wait for you while you advance one tile at a time. Hey, Sheva, what is she doing? What the fuck is she doing? What the fuck is she doing? What the fuck is she doing? Holy fucking shit! Oh my god! From the bottom of my heart, eat a dick and die. Eat a dick and die. Friendly advice, but if you want to play this game, play it with someone else. Otherwise, you'd rather blast yourself to Winston Churchill. You'll somehow find more joy in that. We located the base form Ouroboros before pushing forward, fighting through a giant spider and an armed militia of Las Plagas infected. We witnessed Ouroboros reject a body firsthand and fight my favorite boss in this game. It's super satisfying if you come prepared with fire weapons, otherwise you'll have a miserable time. Especially in a no-death run. I have a distinct memory of the first time I ever played this game thinking this was the hardest boss fight because I was stupid and didn't know how to do it. How do you do it, you may ask? I'm too lazy to explain. Frick you! Confronting one of Wesker's partners, the Crow Lady attacks before Albert himself pulls up, revealing it's actually Jill. Dun dun dun! 7 minutes is all he could spare to play with us, and let me tell you, it was the worst 7 minutes of Wesker's life. So of course he tactically retreated like a bitch. Capcom made Jill rip her chest zip down in the most dramatic way possible, but yeah, that little doohickey is what's controlling her, so naturally Sheva locks in for the only time in this campaign to make sure Jill literally can't do shit as we rip that thing off. Jill insists on us bringing the fight to Wesker and ending this once and for all, and Sheva and Chris head off to the tanker where Wesker was planning to launch Ouroboros from. Fighting our way through the army, Sheva does some bullshit. Is she stupid? Stop it! Oh my god! Sheva. Sheva! We locate and shoot at Excella, recovering some kind of syringe, before catching up to her as she dealt with the rejection of Ouroboros, turning into that. Using a rocket launcher, Sheva targeted Excella's weak points as Chris stunned the others, keeping them from striking her before we made the final push to Wesker. Jill informed us that the syringe was filled with a dosage of Ouroboros made just for Wesker, but fun fact, he can overdose on it. Now analyze this shit with me. I just went through hell fighting one of 2 Las Plagas infected mini-gutters built like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And, well, let's just witness. Why, Sheva? Why, Sheva? Why? We're about to win what is probably harder than the Albert Wesker fight. This is genuine fucking misery. Please, Sheva, please, Sheva, please, Sheva, please, please, please. I won, don't worry. If I lost, this video wouldn't be out right now. I'd be stuck in such a downward mental spiral, I'd be posting under videos of James Charles talking about childbirthing hips. Companion, that is a dude. What are they gonna birth a child out of? Their ass? Anyways, we explode Wesker with a rocket, inject him, shoot him out of a plane, crash Ouroboros, slash and stab him to hell, then explode him into a pit of lava, killing him. W's in the chat. Analyze this photo with me. Random e-girl brings a human slave on screen, and Twitch CEO calls it innovative. Imperfectly said in the comments I didn't screenshot, Dan Clancy is trying to turn Twitch into OnlyFans. So while Twitch slowly turns into post-Musk Twitter, fans of swirling their sausage are jumping for joy, and fans of, well, streaming are left in the mud. RE6 was pretty much that. Capcom said, let's make an action game, and horror fans twiddled their thumbs. That is really the summary of RE6. Incredible game, incredible character development, amazing gameplay, but little to no horror. And because of this, nothing really entertaining happened. Except pure lethal doses of octane, baby! Holy shit! Fuck, shit. Fuck. Burn. Woo! Why am I flying a plane? Run! What the fuck is that? But yeah, super easy game. I mean, not really, but I'm insanely good at it to the point of little challenge, which is honestly kind of funny seeing as I struggle on RE5. There were a lot of close calls that didn't make the cut, because showing me almost lose the run to the same thing over and over again would probably get boring. Like I said earlier, however, RE6's lore is like if RE lore got a BBL. The world completely expanded to new horizons. Some crazy shit happens, which I'ma tell you in TJAAM fashion. FYI, I'll mainly be covering the Leon campaign, as that's where the most important lore for RE7, 8, and 9 lies. See this guy? His name is Simmons, and he's the United States National Security Advisor. He also works for The Family, a secret cabal of powerful individuals that was behind the nuking of Raccoon City, respectively coordinated by Simmons. The Family is also known as the Connections, which will be important later on. Anyways, US President Adam Benford planned to declassify the Umbrella files, revealing that the US was a bit more involved in the bioweapons created than what was publicly known. Simmons orchestrated releasing the C virus on the president by blackmailing Secret Service agent Helena Harper. Leon S. Kennedy, who was with the president, was forced to shoot the infected president, with Helena Harper admitting quickly it was her fault, but also stating that she can prove her semi-innocence and help Leon understand what was going on. Together, the two of them worked through Tall Oaks, making it to a secret underground lab, where Helena reveals her sister was kidnapped and would be experimented on unless the agent assisted with Simmons. Leon also watches a tape of Ada Wong hatching out of a cocoon, which was a clone. Unfortunately, Helena's sister was still experimented on, turning into a bioweapon, which Leon and Helena were forced to kill. They both escaped the lab just in time as the nuke destroyed Tall Oaks, with the terrorist group Neo Umbrella taking ownership. Now, Neo Umbrella was a real group created by clone Ada Wong, but Simmons and the Connections were the ones who launched the nuke and just blamed it on Neo Umbrella to cover their tracks, which Leon and Helena knew. Now, why would Simmons betray clone Ada Wong if he created her? Well, her real name was Clara, and she was forced into becoming Ada Wong because, well, Simmons is a pervert. But basically, Neo Umbrella is an extremist group hell-bent on bringing down the Connections, which was the world order, so therefore taking down the world. The reason Simmons blamed Neo Umbrella is because just hours before, Clara released the C virus in China as a starting point for a doomsday event, which was basically her FU to him. Now, Leon and Helena, with help from Ingrid Hunnigan, fly to China to stop Simmons. They come across a now-adult Sherry Birkin, who is also a DSO agent, and Jake Muller, Albert Wesker's son. Now, Jake had inherited his father's antibodies from Ouroboros, making him immune to every virus, and it was Sherry's job to get Jake to a lab so his antibodies could be used to cure the C virus. Now, issue was, Simmons was her boss for the operation, with him wanting the antibodies as failsafe for any virus the Connections could possibly make, which Sherry, of course, didn't know. Obviously, Leon told her, and the two of them were able to escape the war zone, making the cure, with Leon and Helena killing Simmons. This was a very brief summary. I didn't cover Chris or Ada's side of the story because, again, while very good elements to the overarching story respectively, their sides of the story didn't really affect the future Resident Evil games, except, saving the world. So Resident Evil was having a little bit of an identity crisis after RE6, despite being their second best-selling game, beating RE4 OG at the time. They were kinda on and off again with the whole are we or are we not an action game. Revelations 2 was a lot more survival-focused compared to Umbrella Corps. We don't talk about Umbrella Corps in this household, son. I mean, seriously, who thought making Resident Evil an online shooter game was even a remotely decent idea? I could sculpt Funko Pops out of my shit and they'd sell better. But yeah, RE7 was actually a bucket of crisp, cold smart water. Not sponsored. I wish. A gory first-person Saw-like sci-fi horror shooter is exactly what the world needed in 2017, and Ethan Winters delivered, damn it. Husband of the Omniverse. That'll make sense. Alright, so funny thing happened, my capture card decided it needed a software update without telling me, and for the first hour of recording it was buffering. Which at first, I was upset, but it gives me a unique opportunity to put a VHS screen filter and make it look like an old tape with the buffering, like how it is in Resident Evil 7. So, enjoy. For all I know, this game could have taken place in Florida. Mud, shit, bugs that bite you everywhere. Just like Florida. Honestly, if you didn't tell me this was Louisiana, I would have thought it was Florida. Join us. Join you to do what? Accept her gift. Accept whose gift? Why? They're from Texas? Oh my god, you married a woman from Texas? Natively born Texan? Yeah, dude, that was your first mistake. It was just open! How could they do this to a fellow bird? Crank that shit up to power 150. Fucketh my balls. Fuck you. E001.
It's not here. It's gone. It's gone.
Chill out.
We're gonna be
Damn.
Now that you're here.
What?
No, leave me alone.
First aid meds. That's a good sign. Yo. The rapid movements. That's what gets me. Yo. Yo, Ethan, do something. No!
I've been bad. I deserve this.
Like I said, can't marry them Texans. Them native-born Texans. First segment of the game is literally just like stabbing your wife. Well, it's actually your wife stabbing you. Oh. The attic. This game's funny. Mia, you there? Yeah. You're not. She's not there, guys. Mia. We're friends, right?
It fucking hurts!
What is with your fixation and stabbing his hands? Yo, chill! Yo, chill! Yo! How do I get it out? Get it out! It's just a severed hand.
Welcome to the family, son.
Oh. Fuck you. Excuse me. gonna stop chewing on my pencil. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves. I take a deep breath and I'm gonna run. Oh my god! Why does it happen so slowly? What is that? Alright, so what just happened? Well, this fine lady right here is Ethan's wife. Bad hair days, am I right? You see, she went missing 3 years ago in a babysitting job. But recently, she emailed me to come get her, then she stabbed me, got off my hand, and I awoke to being force-fed leftover Captain B's. Turns out their whole family was messed up in the head, didn't really know why, but after working my way to escape the house, finally got put in a corner, forced to take down Jack, who was the father. The boss fight is one of my personal favorites. You clash chainsaws against each other, and, well, that's it. But it's really fun. Jack goes kaboom, and Ethan works his way outside. Okay. After looking at the decomposing corpse, we found a trailer sitting in the yard. Maybe it's Zoe's. Thank you for that, Capcom. Who was Zoe, though? You see, the Bakers have 5 family members. Jack, Marguerite, Lucas, Grandma, and Zoe. Zoe was the last of their family that had yet to been infected with whatever was making them so crazy. She's the one who got Ethan's hand reattached and guided him to escaping the main house. Zoe said she herself is infected with the same thing Mia has, just a less progressed version. So to escape with both of them, I needed to find the serum, which Zoe thought her crazy-ass mom had. Fun. Is now a good time to say I hate bugs? I found the parts to craft a flamethrower and found Mia getting dragged away by Lucas. He called me Daddy and Mia Mommy. Guess he's kinky.
Stay the fuck out!
Okay. Nice lady, am I right?
Fucking shitcock! Show yourself!
It's not very nice. Lockpick, slay. Jesus!
Stay out of here!
After shooting her down, I went upstairs finding the D-series fetus and instructions to make the serum, a head, and an arm. According to Zoe, the arm should be somewhere in the house, with me not needing to worry about the head as she already had it. To get further upstairs, I needed the mom's lamp, which... I really hate this game. Oh, I smell dinner. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel. Once I finish this, I get to have a nice snack. Well, dinner's not a snack, but you get my point. What the fuck? This hoe has roaches in her vagina. This hoe has roaches in her vagina. Back up. Back away from me. Hoe, you have roaches in your vagina. She's been exterminated. Get it? Extermination. Bugs. I'm funny. Upstairs exploring, I get an interesting message.
Stay away.
Oh, fuck that. And after grabbing the arm, I see a little girl running away, which messes the voice of who told me to stay away. I think there's a mystery on our hands, gang. Calling Zoe, she said to meet her in the trailer, which when I arrived, I instead got a call from Lucas stating that she had been captured and that if I wanted to get her back, I would have to do his game in the barn after collecting the keys to get in. What the fuck? To get the barn keys, I needed a key from the main house stuck inside an officer's throat. An officer you have no clue about because the footage was duty. Grandma appears again. Curious indeed. I acquired the first key card, then the second, and used them to get a face-to-face with Lucas. He showed me dried up Gollum, yells at an Evelyn, and then blew the TV up in my face. Inside the barn, an elaborate death trap awaited with Lucas having locked me in, but I knew it was a death trap. Rewind with me a second. You see, I found this tape labeled Happy Birthday, where a man named Clancy was strapped with a camera to run this trap. Clancy picked up the candle walking through a sprinkler system, which led him to a cake. With the lights on, Lucas explained the test. Put a lit candle on the cake, and Clancy escapes. I take the winding key out of the keg as whiskey pours out, I give the key to the clown, then find a balloon which I popped, causing it to shoot nails all over poor Clancy. Along with the nails, a quill was shot into him, and using a finger grabbed out of the burning straw man, repaired the clown, causing it to carve "loser" into his arm. This ended up being the password which got us the valve to turn off the water, allowing Clancy to get the lit candle on the cake. Well, it exploded, which didn't kill Clancy. What did was the fire lighting the gasoline, not whiskey, and burning Clancy alive. And if you're wondering what happened to his body, here he is. Say hi, Clancy. I don't know, I guess he's feeling really burnt out. With Ethan now informed, all he did was use the password, then blow up the cake without getting lit aflame from spilt gasoline. Lucas was pissed and dropped the bomb with me acting quick, putting it into the wall, blowing it up. Lucas booked it, which didn't matter as I had the D-Series head and got to the boathouse cutting free Mia and Zoe. She made the serum and for some reason Ethan grabbed both. Why? Anyways, Jack Baker jumped us. I don't even know what he looks like, it's just a piece of glorp. I was prepared for a difficult fight, but honestly Jack's movement is so slow, you just run and shoot all his eyes and you're done. When I tried to leave though, Jack grabbed me and Zoe told me to use the serum on him, which killed him. Problem was, now there was only one left, but two people who needed it. Do I save my wife who lied to me and mutilated my body, or the woman who saved me?
What the hell are we gonna do now?
Shit. I think the question is, what the fuck are you gonna do now? Get out of here! Who the hell else would Ethan choose? That's his wife. Eternal bondage of souls type shift. Though as most standards go, the bar was set in the first layer of hell for Mia.
But TJAAM, Mia's just a victim. She went missing on a babysitting job. She's a saint.
Shh. It's okay to be stupid! Who the hell gets lost on a babysitting job? And who was she babysitting? Where's the little girl? Oh. You see that boat? That's where Mia's babysitting job took place. And as the mold crap launches us overboard, I awake as Mia. Roaming through the shipwreck trying to find Ethan, weird writings like "she is not my child" were written on the walls. Suddenly, a little girl appears asking if we are remembering. Wait a minute. Skin color? Check. Creepy voice? Check. Black mold constantly appearing and surrounding wherever she is? Check. Like Zoink Scoob! I think we're about to solve the mystery. But before that, the little girl demanded we watch an old videotape so we could remember. All that happened was a retelling of how the ship wrecked. You see, the little girl is Evelyn, codenamed E001. She broke out of containment, sick of being raised in a lab, and wanted to live with her mother, who was programmed to be Mia since she was the babysitter. Evelyn isn't just an innocent little girl. She's a bioweapon who is engineered to have a lack of empathy so that she could be used to take down, mind control, or straight up kill hostile enemies. Because of this, she would use her powers on people like it was playtime for her, and eventually wreck the ship with all the damage she caused due to Mia not stopping her in time. Regardless of her own past, Mia wasn't gonna cut and run on Ethan, and fought her way through the bioweapons to confront Evelyn, who was guarding Ethan. Right before Ethan woke up, he was somehow being communicated to by Jack Baker, the real one. He apologizes for the pain he and his family had caused towards Ethan and begged him to kill Evelyn to release his family and Mia. Speaking of Mia, she freed us and shoved us out of the room before handing a sample of Evelyn's DNA before turning back into the infected version of herself. Ethan traveled his way back into the swamp, finding a Radio Shack with intercepted messages from the BSAA beginning their mission in the area. On my way to fight Evelyn back at the Baker house, I come across an underground lab Lucas was using. We find out some information. First off, Lucas was working with a mysterious group, the Connections, which was also Mia's employer. You see, a BSAA raid in Germany had attempted to shut down a Connections warehouse which was developing the E-Series bioweapons. Mia was on the job to transport the weapon to Eastern Southern America, where the bioweapon would be further researched there. Obviously, we know Evelyn got out and the boat wrecked, but what happens after was Jack Baker recovered an unconscious Evelyn and Mia, which is when Evelyn infected the family. The Connections saw this development not as a failure, but instead as an opportunity to learn why Evelyn broke free and her behavior when given freedom. To continue their research, they used the serum to cure Lucas, not of the actual properties of the infection, but just Evelyn's influence. So basically, Lucas was an undercover agent and isn't crazy because of Evelyn, he just sucks. The infection itself was also detailed. It was codenamed Mold for its obvious fungi appearance, and Evelyn had a direct control of it. However, the mold didn't come from Evelyn. Instead, it was Evelyn who comes from the mold, which came from something called the mutamycete. Nevertheless, Lucas's notes ended saying that Evelyn was rapidly aging and her hair had begun graying. That's right, the grandma who kept moving places, watching us, and eerily humming an old barn rhyme was Evelyn. The reason why we saw a little girl is because of Evelyn's powers. Her influence can also cause hallucinations. It's how she teleports whenever we see her. None of this mattered, however. The E-Series serum had been made, and all we had to do was inject it into Evelyn. The hardest fight in the game is easily the two fat molded. Whenever you hit them, they shoot acid at you, and two of them can basically end your run if you're at medium health. The easiest way to beat them is place down a bunch of remote mines, at least kill one, then the other won't be a significant problem if you have enhanced or shotgun ammo. What are you doing? 360. You still there? Catching Evelyn, I was able to inject the serum into her as her hallucinations ended, revealing her true form. The fight wasn't over yet, though. The serum didn't kill her, it just took her down to her base molded form as the mold from the entire guest house combined with her, turning into a huge giant mutant. Unfortunately, the boss fight isn't an actual boss fight. As far as I'm aware, it's just a scripted event. You can't move, and no matter what, you end up using a superpowered handgun to take her down. With that, it was all over. Chris Redfield showed up to clean up the Connections mess as Ethan and Mia were escorted out of a jobber. All might seem well for the Winters family, but it was far from over. It had been almost 3 years since the Baker House incident. Ethan and Mia were relocated to a safe house to live off the radar in Europe. They had tried moving on, and in that gave birth to a daughter, Rosemary, who was just past her half birthday. The game begins with Mia reading a very dark story to Rosemary, which Ethan calls out before being promptly snapped at. I will be reposting a targeted Instagram reel. Shut the fuck up!
Can't keep your mother waiting. She's scary when she's angry.
Really? Anyways, with Rose in bed, Ethan cracks open a bottle with Mia before she gets murked by Christopher. I feel like frame posing and glaring at your best friend before executing his wife is only something a Redfield would do. Chris took Rose before Ethan was knocked out, later awakening alone in a wreck with no one around. Almost no one.
Where the hell am I?
Turns out it wasn't as much as the middle of nowhere as Ethan thought. The roaming began. The village was terrifyingly empty and destroyed, but that wasn't what made it scary. What made it scary was Ethan's dumbass sense of survival. He's right in front of you! And that's why you lost your fingers. We aren't making it out of the village with this aim. I get chased around and swarmed by the monsters before it looks like I'm gonna meet my maker, but they run off at the castle bell. An old hag rants about someone called Mother Miranda and says that Rose was in great danger before refusing to elaborate further and dipping. In a nearby church house, I find a crest along with a note telling me to go to Louisa's to find the other. So I travel there meeting a father and daughter who needed help getting inside. He's an asshole, and I hope he dies. Turns out the village is a cult. They get a little silly in their free time. The piece of shit dad gets silly too. Survival sense of a pickle. I grab the second crest and witness Mother Miranda murk the shit out of the last villager, besides the hag. She's enjoying herself. Anyways, with the crest, I was able to push forward towards the castle, where Rose hopefully was. Instead, I got metal stuck straight up my ass. Hope you got your tetanus shot, Ethan. He wakes up surrounded by these odd-looking people. To the left, Lady Dimitrescu, a towering 9-foot-tall behemoth who broke the internet, turning lesbians brain dead. Everyone assumes she's a lesbian because she hated men. Good job, guys, reinforcing stereotypes. Not all lesbians hate dudes. They just hate stable relationships. Above Lady Dimitrescu was Donna Beneviento, a mentally ill woman who uses hallucinogens to hunt her victims. All the way to the right was Moreau, a snot pus creature, and right next to him was Carl Heisenberg, basically a blue-collar uncle. All of them forced Ethan into some sort of trial, with him getting beat by a giant and almost squashed into a Krabby Patty. Exiting the trial led me straight to the castle where I met the Duke. Not much is known about this glob except that he is a respectable merchant. Inside the castle, I wander around. I'd just be breaking shit. Before reading a passage, mask the angel's blinded gaze, only then will you be saved. Suddenly, flies start to swim around Ethan as 3 daughters appear. Now lock in! Before we get into the segment of this video, I want to make some disclaimers. Everything I am going to say in this castle segment is neither a joke or an exaggeration of emotion to be entertaining. I mean every single word, unless you're a family member watching. Everything I said is a joke. Ladies, one at a time. Oh, remember how Lady Dimitrescu broke the internet? Well, frankly, I never understood the hype. I'm sure for the few Twitter femcels that have the unique fetish of having their hoo-ha scissored literally for when they're getting down, but personally, I ain't fucking with giant Edward Scissorhands. Now the daughters, though, especially Cassandra.
Straight to horny jail.
You are
so kind to me, daughters.
Bro, I'm gonna lose this challenge, but holy shit, please marry me. Get this behemoth out of here. I want to see my wife. You'll let me. Okay. Ethan bit the bullet and released himself from being strung up before advancing into the castle further.
Thea!
Holy shit! Nice nail polish. It's not that funny, but like, he's in a barrel of blood. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Inside the basement, I shoot some of the undead, whatever they are, before fighting Bella. Ethan, you gotta win this. I gotta save ammo for more important boss fights. Bad hair day, huh? Excuse me. Knife it. Knife it. The sun come runs at you, you just knife it. Knife it. Knife it. Knife it. See? That's what you gotta do. Just gotta knife it. Bet I can hide. Oh my god! Yo, she was not behind me.
Mother said stale, but I think you're delicious.
Okay, she can come in here. Oh, the behemoth. Exploring around the castle led me to Dimitrescu's private chambers, where she raged about me ratioing her daughter before sending me down into the basement below and slicing my hand off. This was the closest part I've gotten since RE5 to dying. I got to 1 HP, but couldn't heal because my hand was gone. And Ethan moves like a grandma when he's low. I was able to get out though and reattach the hand. I don't want to talk about it. Knife! Knife! Get back here! Knife! 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 Stab! 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 Because, like, I'll run through that door. She's gonna be there.
I won't last.
With Cassandra close behind, I put the new collected mask in the slot before journeying to get the rest. What? Why is she screaming mother? Where is she? What the fuck? You were just right behind me! Like far away behind me. Oh my god! The third mask took me outside to the roof of the castle, with the last being guarded by Cassandra. Yeah, we got a divorce. With all the masks in place, I was able to find a locked off casket which had a dagger that weakened Lady Dimitrescu into a mutant dragon. That's really weak. It was a breeze because I used my knife on the daughters and conserved my ammo like a real pro. I found this strange vial and met with the hag who said it was too late to save Rose as she was to be sacrificed by the end of the day. Notice anything about the symbol? Yeah. This game's lore goes deep. Back in the village, I approached the Duke, finding out something about the jar.
Why, you have your daughter right in your own hands.
The kid got mutilated, but not all hope was lost. No, you see, each lord of the village has acquired a flask, each one containing different body parts. Rose's life essence was still alive, so if I could get her body pieces, I could bring her back. But easier said than done. There were 3 other lords to kill, and then Mother Miranda to deal with. But nevertheless, I set up to Donna Benevientos, but not before securing Rose's flask into the chalice, seeing a vision of Miranda first kidnapping her. This is very safe.
What?
Yeah, I remarried. Ethan kept hallucinating Mia all the way to the steps of House Beneviento. It's low-key a house. Ethan found the doll of Angie holding the jar before the lights suddenly shut off, with the jar and doll disappearing. Wow.
Is this a doll of Mia?
No, Ethan, it's Zoe Baker. Quit asking dumbass shit. I had to do this whole puzzle. I'll skip over it for you, don't worry. I'm cool. Descending a ladder. Hope nothing bad happens when I come back up. Uh-oh. That's a wailing baby. I should go check if it's okay. Hopefully nothing awful is about to happen. That's a sausage. It's a really long sausage. That is not a sausage. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a sausage. You know, if I could cover up the bloody fetus monster and cult village, this is some prime real estate. Could really show Larry Goodman how to fuck someone over with a flipped house. What's so funny? Screw this baby, screw this hoe, screw this house, it'll burn in hell along with you all! Legs acquired. Damn, this game is dark, dude. Brush your teeth, man. Watch this. We're going hunting, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you hunt. If you're wondering how I did that, I threw 2 grenades at him. I'm a true magician. Anyways, it was time to go after Mr. Snot. Getting his jar was actually really easy because he's stupid as fuck.
Mother Miranda, if it's for you, I'd do anything.
Please don't forget me.
What was that?
It's a dolphin. I came across a research post set up by Chris Redfield and his elite team known as the Hound Wolf Squad. Hound means wolf. You're saying woof woof. You're an illiterate dumbass, Chris Redfield. This is why Claire is a bajillion times better. To be fair, Chris did save me, which is strange because he killed my wife. Odd. What's more odd was Snotman saying that it should have been him with Miranda, not Ethan. Strange. The fish made me run around the water to get the power back online to drain said water so I could kill him. Another easy fight. Why? Because I'm actually good at RE8. But preparation, baby, that's what it's all about. On the way out, Carl Heisenberg told me that he wanted to team up. But first, I had to prove myself worthy in the stronghold where he had left the last jar of rose for me to pick up. Thanks, man. Some dudes just lack shame. Mutilate me. I don't care.
Straight to horny jail.
There is a level of strategy that exists in Resident Evil games, when to shoot, when not to. But in Resident Evil 8, there is none. You can just run past everything in the hardest difficulties. Push on through! Push! Oh yeah. Oh shit, they can come through. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I thought that the gray door was signal for enemies will not cross, as whenever I play this game casually, I mag dump every lichen I see, instead struggling with the giant due to a lack of ammo. TJAAM, what giant? This one, and he's dead. Shiny white crystals. What does this remind you of? Odd. Oh yeah, that's Zoe, by the way. She survived. She just looks like that now. Picking up the last flask, I get a vision of the Lord surrounding Rose before everything went dark. I find it funny how Heisenberg partook in murdering Rose, then acts like Ethan's gonna be chill about it, but he invites him to the factory anyways. Turns out Heisenberg hated, and I mean hated, Mother Miranda. He wanted to use Rose, who is apparently more powerful than Miranda, to kill her, but Ethan didn't want to use his daughter as a weapon.
Fuck you!
Or maybe Ethan's fuck yous are friendly. Yeah, no, fuck that guy. What is that? I could lie and say I had a hard time during the factory, but it's not even that hard. It's just tedious. It's not scary. The enemies are easy as shit. And the only thing that's cool is that you can parry the propeller, dude. Ethan kind of reminds me of an average Joe D&D character who just keeps getting high rolls and doing crazy shit. Like, genuinely, what the hell?
Ray Skywalker.
Ethan fell pretty far all the way down to the water level where we finally engaged Chris Redfield. We find out some things. Take a seat. There's going to be some explaining. Not really. Basically, Miranda was Mia at the house and the real Mia is probably dead. That's why the fish dude was jealous talking about getting to be with her and not him. Sigmund Freud's greatest disciple. The reason why Chris took Rose was because he didn't know if Miranda had infected Ethan similar to how the mold infected the Bakers because, yeah, spoiler alert, Miranda was trying to bring back her dead daughter, Evelyn. Yeah, that Evelyn. Miranda was actually a leading scientist on the E001, hoping to make a vessel fit for her daughter who died back in the 1900s. Pause this lore rant though, we'll continue in just 1 second as we progress the story. Ethan takes the tank outside, almost loses his dick, and uses it to kill Heisenberg before Mother Miranda, who's also the hag, ripped out his heart, killing him. I screamed the first time I played this game. I thought he actually died. Oh shit, spoilers. Anyways, Chris Redfield repositioned himself with the Hound Wolf Squad and raided the village fighting the Lichen Hive and a giant with a mace. Chris found the original Megamycete and planted a bomb inside of it before locating Miranda's lab where lore rant continue holds a note from Oswald Spencer. The note detailed how Miranda saved him when he was about to freeze to death on an expedition trip and how she taught him about the mold and how it altered humans and their bodies. He talked about his finding of the progenitor virus and how he was going to found a company to research it, known as Umbrella, and base a symbol off the crest in the village. That's right. Everything that's ever happened in Resident Evil happened because of this woman and her deceased child. I told you, Shit runs deep. Chris found the real Mia, who when told that Ethan had died, responded with, "You don't understand how special he is."
God, freezing.
Ethan awoke in some dreamland, meeting Evelyn, who mocked him for his failure. Ethan never actually died to Miranda. He was always dead. Back when Jack Baker stomped him to the floor, that was what ended Ethan. But the mold in the house had already infected him. It's why Ethan was able to reattach his hands and always recover from horrific injuries. His body was nothing but mold. But you know what else he also is? The greatest of all time! It was time for the final boss fight. With 5 herbal medicines, I was prepared. I cashed in on an auto pistol for the higher damage and better accuracy, but Miranda's attacks were brutal, and unfortunately, no gun would change that. Miranda's abilities allowed her to change into a wide variety of forms, but I kept my pace, blocking when she attacked and doing heavy damage with my weapons at the right moment. A tip I learned from the PlayStation Tips guide is that flashbangs ruin her most lethal attack stage, which was a must in this fight, as she can spam that. I was brought to my last bit of health with no herbs left to save me, but I pull through, driving the sniper around to her head and killing the Mad Witch, saving Rose. But it was too late for Ethan. He was able to hand Rose off to Chris to keep her safe before taking the detonator and sacrificing himself to finish off the Megamycete. Chris was informed that the BSAA forces attempting to stop Miranda in the area weren't actual soldiers. They were bioweapons, which rightfully caused an enraged Chris, with him plotting a course to BSAA Europe to hold someone accountable. It was assumed a leak in the BSAA was what even informed Miranda about Rose's existence, so Chris was locking in to make sure someone pay for what happened to the Winters. But nothing would change Ethan's death. It was 5 AE, 5 years after Ethan, and a sudden rise of T-virus related deaths that included Raccoon City survivors were on the rise. Remember how I said virology would be important earlier? Basically, a dormant version of the T-virus had affected some victims and not others, and after 20 years mutated to this new variant. It's basically a very slow version of the T-virus that could take a few days or weeks to actually kill the individual infected. And yes, it only kills. The new T-virus doesn't make you a zombie, just a really grayed out corpse. Meet Grace Ashcroft, extremely successful FBI analyst, very closed-off individual, and overall average gal. She was currently working on the T-virus case, following it closely, looking for connections.
Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
I think there's something wrong with her outfit.
If this is
Yo,
about
the
report
fit
you
is
asked for
ass,
yesterday,
bro.
it'll be back in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body.
It wasn't that funny. I really need to stop playing so late. So, Miss Ashcroft was being assigned on a field op to examine the new corpse in the Wrenwood Hotel. The hotel she witnessed her mom get murdered. That's not traumatic whatsoever. Hey, watch your way, mister. Watch your way. That's good English. Move out of the fucking... Grace, you gotta stand up for yourself more. You gotta start flipping people off. You got a gun in your backpack, Grace. Grace met with a local officer who let her inside the scene. The place was incredibly run down and featured a photo of Grace with "Let's Talk" on the back and a room key. Shit. The room had a creepy number of photos of a young Grace with her dead mother, along with one that specifically forced Grace to remember the night her mother died. Grace was a Redditor, and also fun fact, if you go free cam, Grace was discussing conspiracy theories on the Baker House cover-up and what happened to the Winters. A phone rang confirming Miss Ashcroft was in the room before the power shut off, and the mom said, "They're coming." Thanks, Mom. I bet in Grace's mind she was like,
Holy flip, this man was murdered just like they are in the heckin' movies.
"Get it, guys? Reddit stereotype. It was funnier the 100th time." No, Grace was giving off an Oscar-level performance before her mom was murdered. Grace cried a little more before remembering her mother hiding something before she was killed, which Grace wanted to get before leaving. Is that Leon? Grace found her mother's journal detailing how they were being followed by the man who killed her, as well as an old drive, before the officer scared Grace. He said something stung him before his teeth fall out. Must have been one hell of a beat. Now I gotta say, playing at the midnight release with your room dark, off a half-drinking cherry energy drink, and 3 rolls of bread, having a man shoot a shotgun before you stick a fire poker in his eye socket is an experience only Capcom could give me. I could do that in real life, but it's sorta kinda illegal. Anyways, Grace kills him, get it girl, and meets Victor Gideon, one of the last men alive who was associated with Umbrella's darkest secrets. He was the apprentice of Spencer who thought Grace was some key, which was why he kidnapped her. Now what was Leon doing? Well, besides getting his highlights, he's been Leoning until he showed symptoms of having the new T-virus. Sherry Birkin, who was sitting behind the desk, got him a lead while he was investigating another T-viral infected survivor, which was, of course, Victor Gideon. The man sensed Leon approaching with his $200,000 Porsche and shot up a bunch of people with another new strand of T-virus. Okay, from now on, the Raccoon City survivor mutation is going to be the TL virus, and the new one is going to be the NT virus, because I'll get confused in those when adding the animations. FYI, because I played this game and there's no option to do a fresh save, I do get an item box that lets me choose what weapons I want instead of the scripted shotgun and sniper later on. It's not really overpowered, as the early game is a tutorial for Leon anyways, and isn't difficult at all. The NT virus makes you less mindless and more primal on what your own personal base instincts are, which for her was making out before she died. Sorry lady, that wasn't consensual. Off with your head! Resident Evil 9 has a level of smoothness that hasn't been seen since Arkham Asylum, Mickey's Castle of Illusion,
and Fortnite.
The gunplay, smooth. Hatchet, smooth. Executions, smooth. Unfortunately, Leon's spinny spin didn't help him catch Gideon in time, but luckily Sherry got a location, the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center. A few hours later, Grace awoke strapped suspended, having her blood drained. She broke the vial, using it to free herself. The place looked to be a care center. It had those W vibes. I got a key and used it to unlock a door, which got me a lighter, allowing me to explore the dark rooms. Have you seen the shadow ghosts hiding in the dark? Have you seen the shadow ghosts staying from the light? Have you seen the shadow ghosts because she's been watching you? Stay in the light. Top 10 children's books of all time. I read it to my kid and they now have psychotic breakdowns without a nightlight. Leon! Where's Leon? Where's Leon? Where's Leon? Where's Leon? That's not Leon S. Kennedy. That's not Leon S. Kennedy. This was the shadow monster who, what do you know, was scared of light. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. She can grab for you? Go, Grace, 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 when there's a monster coming towards you, you don't say not this way. You don't repeat yourself, Grace. You shut the fuck up! I do something really funny. You see, normally you can grab the toolbox right after that encounter, but I decide, because it was 3 a.m. and I'm thinking stupid, to instead slide it further, triggering an encounter I've never done before. Grace, grab it and go. Grace, grab it. Grab it and go. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. That's never happened to me before. Normally, I just stand up on the table and grab it, and she doesn't come. Grace! This game is stupid. I was able to use a screwdriver from the toolbox to get a fuse, which helped me escape, until the monster dragged me back to the dark. But anyways, what's Leon doing? That was not a joking matter, Leon. A woman was brutally sawed. Someone called the doctor because I'm about to... Wait, shit, how's the joke go? But yeah, that's what Leon was doing while Grace was fighting nyctophobia, and he, of course, came to save the day. It's Leon. What else do we expect? Unfortunately, security defenses activated, separated in two, as Leon quickly handed off the Requiem to Grace to defend herself, before being knocked out by Victor Gideon, who was lurking in the dark. Grace's goal was to escape, but easier said than done. The entire clinic was locked down, with the only way out being an emergency exit that needed 3 keys to unlock. While searching for the first, Grace meets this little girl, Emily, who is blind and locked in a cell, with a man yelling to stay away from her. I'm seeing a certain level of resemblance. I think Grace should just... the kid. Whoa, you two! Chill. It's a sick bioweapon that eats humans. It's okay for me to say that. I did do something stupid though. They really won't let you throw stuff at the pain? That's crazy. Can you, like, shoot at the pain?
Jesus.
I should not have done that. Yo, holy shit, I'm stupid. Yeah, the game was off to a great start. I had no ammo to defend myself. I'll see you soon, Claire. I tried sneaking past the chef, and, well... Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Grab the gun. It has no ammo. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Grace, this is bad. Grace, you gotta run.
Bullets.
Oh, fucking shit, Grace. Alright, Grace, you're gonna have to knife him. Boom. That's how you do it, Grace. Now you have to stab him right in the nuts. Right in the nuts. Right in the nuts. You ever want to kill a man harassing you? You stab him right in the nuts. Foolproof method. If it's a woman, stab her right in the nipple. Foolproof method. Foolproof. You got this. Aim. Woo! Guys, look. It's a naked ball. I was able to grab the first key, but the next one would be a bit more difficult. I pre-ordered deluxe edition for this. My mother's credit card was stolen for this. Come in here, you bitch. You bitch. Get looped, idiot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Classic D&D. No, fuck. DBD. DBD D&D, yo. In the West Wing, I grabbed a blood collector and found the next vault holding a key which needed acid to melt the lock. Unfortunately for me, I met Chunk, a being of such obesity you'd think a my 1,000-pound sister was skinny. I inject his fat ass with Ozempic, not once, but twice, which still wasn't enough as I had to waste like 20 rounds on him. I was able to get the acid, but met Victor, who told me I was basically special in the non-derogatory way, before Grace tricked him into running away and opening the safe. A journal had notes on how to open an organ transportation box I acquired earlier, which gave me a set of lungs. Grabbing the heart back in the East Wing, I was able to resuscitate a corpse with a level 2 band and use it to find the last vault. I wasn't able to open it due to the symbols being replaced with Braille, and finding a level 3 band on one of the lead doctor's corpse, it was clear I had to let Emily out to escape. As she got to work on the vault, I defended her against a horde of zombies before she got the key. Oh, yeah, the shadow monster was back and kidnapped Emily. And Grace goes after her because obviously you're not going to leave a 5-ish-year-old child to die a gruesome death. Who the hell does that? But what was Leon doing? The man was getting interrogated by Gideon before escaping, giving a liposuction to a different fatty. Leon fought his way through Gideon's office, taking out waves of NT-infected civilians, mutating rapidly into pimple dudes. Before pinging Sherry into the local database, discovering some classified virus, Elpis, relating to Grace. Anyways, about an hour before this, we're picking back off with Grace, who tracked Emily on CCTV to a cell. To unlock the cell, Grace needed 3 different power cells, all spread out through the basement. Lucky for her, the first one was free. I had to sneak around the shadow monster roaming around, which sucked. Lockpick. What's up, man? What's up, pal? Okay. Stay back. Stay in there, please. The second was easy to grab, and using a cell, I grabbed a tool which I was able to use to get to the third and final one, though poor Grace had to run through fire to escape the monster on the way. God damn it. Grace, move. Grace. Grace, you're gonna open this. You're gonna put those batteries in. Okay, Grace? Okay, Grace? You got this, Grace. Grace. Come on, Grace. You got this. Put it in. Holy shit! I think this is a tomato factory. Unfortunately, the power cell locked Grace in behind herself, but using a key, I was able to work around through a corpse processing unit, then grab the cell and backtrack. Holy fuck! Oh my god! Inserting all the cells, Grace grabs Emily as they race to the elevator with the shadow monster in close pursuit, but ultimately, the two got away, and used the last key needed to escape to the courtyard. Yay! We met a named Harry who offered to fly us out if we could get his key from the nearby office. He was unable to do so himself due to a leg injury. Inside the office, we find a bottle of Maiden's Blood, the Dimitrescu-owned wine label, which expanded to a key which turned the floor into an elevator. Underground was a lab filled with testing tubes and patients with their blood being extracted constantly. Besides that, though, Grace grabbed the key and hid from Gideon, who gloats about his success before setting the self-destruct sequence. Grace practically drowned in the blood before getting in the chopper with Harry. Unfortunately, the NT infected piled on top of it, causing a rough ride and crash landing, which killed Harry and gravely injured Emily. But what's Leon up to? Well, we pick back off with him in the office before seeing Grace crash land and go out to help her. I kind of forgot to put a scope on the sniper, which I thought would be a fun challenge, which it was, till I almost lost. Don't be an idiot like me and put a scope on the sniper. Anyways, Leon met back up with Grace and Emily before telling them to run off and holding off a wave of zombies, including some kind of Titan monster that evolved the other infected into the pimple heads. While Leon did that, Grace was forced to let Emily down to kill the shadow monster so that they could escape. The segment is unfortunately easy, as they give you a full mag of Requiem shots which easily stun the monster. I think it would have been more fun if they didn't give any rounds, so you would have to search for the other rounds in the care center and conserve them. Or make better usage of the lamplights to stun her, which I've still never stunned her with, because why would you need them? I don't think it was poor game design. They clearly had the lamplights being used in mind, but playtesters probably complained about it being too difficult. Besides all of that, I was able to turn the power on and finally kill this freak! Speaking of freaks, Emily is cooked, and Leon had to shoot her down. Unfortunate. Grace kinda gave up, dropped the Requiem, and just walked away into Gideon, who offered to show her what was special about her. And then a shutter door raised, and Albert Wesker appeared. Zarda. This was Zeno, a clone of Wesker. He had the same abilities of him having a version of Ouroboros, I'm assuming. What makes Zeno as a character so intriguing is that they need Albert's exact DNA to create him, as this clone had the exact personality of Wesker, which wouldn't be possible if his original DNA for when Wesker was first created as the OG DNA would have caused the clone to be different in personality, because they had different lives. Do you follow? And did I mention Zeno is also part of the Connections, which means Wesker also has to be a part of the Connections? Like I said, the lore gets deep. Later in the game, Zeno also mentions how the Connections got rid of Spencer when he served his purpose, which confirms this theory, as Wesker was the one who killed him. Overall, I think it's a neat twist and idea, as Resident Evil 8 opened the door to a more fantasy horror Resident Evil with the naturally occurring Megamycete. The progenitor virus needed biological modification to work, but the Megamycete just worked naturally, so that begs the question, who or what made it? And I think that's where the game is heading. If people like Miranda were able to live for a century, who else might have been infected in the past and living among the world? Are they the original members of the Connections, which were somehow able to control the most powerful and influential companies and governments on Earth? How far back did they go? Just how powerful are the families that run it? And what does it mean for the world? Countries are rapidly leaving bioweapon treaties, with the American BSAA division falling out with the other branches due to the corruption, which is what we saw of Chris finding out the European branch was using BOWs. Hell, the Connections were able to run a science experiment in the middle of Louisiana and cover up a dozen missing murders. In RE8 lore, the entire incident was still covered up after the fact, which Chris thought was suspicious, which was why he formed his own unit. Every time it seems the Connections have been beaten, they come back stronger than ever, like an actual good written Palpatine plot. Fuck that movie, I don't want to talk about that movie. When people say this game's lore is bad, I roll my eyes. This game has deep lore. But now we are at Leon's segment of the game, driving straight to the heart of where it all began, Raccoon City. The city looked grayed out, with all signs of life being gone. The only things that remained were, that's a giant spider. I hate spiders. Yay. I won't lie to you, Resident Evil 9's Leon segment gameplay, one of the best experiences I've ever had in my years of gaming. Incredibly fun, but kind of boring to explain on YouTube. I generally do the exact same thing everywhere. I will say this, Pimple Boy, I whooped his ass easily with skill. Why? Because I'm a pro motherfucking gamer. My dad neglected me at 6 years old and stuck me in front of the PS3. Yes, I'm young, but my gamer cred knows no bounds. How many Gen Zers have played through all the OG Marios on the original NES? Bet you can't name many. How many Gen Zers played and beat the original Zelda? Not many. How many Gen Zers completed both the OG Mickey's Castle of Illusion as well as the iPhone remaster? Not many. My gamer cred extends from the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox 360, Xbox Series S, PS5 Pro, Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo DS, Nintendo Switch, Wii U. I used to main the Nintendo Switch OG game catalog while all of you pansies used to bitch and moan about the games playing like relics. It will be a cold day in hell for when I prefer the Fortnite Battle Royale over the original Kirby game. Fuck Fortnite. You're a LEGO game fan? Really? Have you ever played LEGO Battles on the DS? Or the exquisite turds that were the DS/3DS LEGO game ports? Little bitch never even played Barbie Jet Set in Style. Fuck Fortnite. Stupid ass game. I also duel with chainsaws against this clown. I had to trim down his ego. But anyways, Leon has a motorcycle segment and drives off a building because he's 50 and the gravitational force should definitely help his joints before killing Victor Gideon. Buffoon you are. But just like that, we are back at the police station. Leon walked inside as memories flash back into his head. Wait, Marvin points a gun at Leon? But is nice to Claire? Are you kidding me? What is this sexism? Point a gun at her. She's capable. She blew your head off. I spot Zeno and Grace walking through the East office, so I set off. Oh, man.
Rest easy, officer.
It's just like Marvin. I found Wesker's old goons, gross, and he's dropped on Grace and Zeno. So there are a few pills to swallow. First off, what is Elpis? Elpis, based off of Victor's research, is a highly effective virus that forces mind control upon those that are infected. But TJAAM, mind control already exists for the connections. Isn't that what Evelyn was made for? Correct! And Zeno says this himself, but it takes a long time for the mind control to take effect. Multiple days even. And the connections wanted a more efficient method. This is where Grace comes in. And the clones. You see, all the way back in the 80s and 90s, before Chief Irons owned the orphanage, it was a front for Umbrella's child experimentation for Elpis, which had dozens of Emilys. And guess what? Grace was a clone, and she was the key to everything, which overwhelmed her and caused her to pass out, but that's not important. Mr. X is back. More like Mr. Ow. Mr. X is old now and doesn't want to chase me around, which was fine until he throws a bomb at my head. Remember how I said the chainsaw fight in RE7 was one of my favorite boss fights? I lied. This is my favorite boss fight. The hatchet parries alone could make this game a Game of the Year contender. If only GTA 6 delayed in March of next year. No one's beating that game. Not even Don't Bite Me, bro. I imagine it was very therapeutic for Leon to do that after RE2. It was for me. Sometimes I wonder how the Connections or Umbrella feels seeing their multi-billion-dollar pet projects combust from a man with a hatchet, or literally some dude. I make it to the orphanage, which led me deep underground fighting a viral plant which almost lost me the run, which was my sign to go to bed. Don't be like me if you ever do this. It is by the grace of God I still haven't restarted. But just like that, I was inside the Ark, Umbrella's most secretive facility, ready for the final stretch of my run. Also, to further support that Wesker was a part of the Connections, Tri-Cell barrels are inside Ark. On the terminal, Leon found Grace and Zeno's location before the Connections elite team pulled up on Leon. Now prepare to watch some intense action. The action segment's over. Worst shot of all time. I'm never touching the Requiem again. Right at the entrance of the Elpis chamber, the commander of the unit appears. This guy's name is Hunk. If you don't know Resident Evil lore, Hunk is the bad guy version of Leon, who's one of the best combatants in the Resident Evil universe. And he's dead. That's great. Awesome. Thanks, Capcom. Or is he dead? Dun dun dun. Leon gets his ass whooped by Zeno, with Grace and him both running, leading themselves into a trash zone. Grace went on to help Leon with an alternative route back to Zeno, while throwing enough Molotov cocktails you'd think she's Hungarian. Little history joke. It wasn't funny. I just think the Winter War was interesting. Leon was starting to feel the effects of the TL virus while cutting off Licker's tongues. I didn't know you could do that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, right before reaching Zeno, he collapsed. Meanwhile, Grace was watching the old drive she got from her mother, which had a video titled Grace, which had an interview with Oswald Spencer. Grace wasn't a clone. She's not related to Emily or the others in any format. She was an orphan child who Spencer brought in for atonement for his actions in Raccoon City. Elpis also wasn't a virus, it was an antiviral. Spencer made a counteragent to the progenitor virus, which rendered Ouroboros, the T virus, G virus, anything that had the progenitor, completely useless, acting as an effective cure. Also, in Spencer's office, there's a painting of Miranda, completely off topic, but the lore. Grace helped pull Leon back into the chamber, having a plan. She knew the password for Elpis. Her mother and Spencer referred to her as their hope. and she punched in the 4 keys as the system took the command and released the canisters. Zeno wouldn't listen to Grace and immediately took Elpis, thinking it would give him the power to control others, but instead it wiped out his abilities. Victor, who wasn't dead, surprise, it took copium to say that Elpis could still be used as a weapon to throw the world order into chaos by rendering all viral weapons useless. Victor proceeded to kill Zeno, and while he went to grab the other Elpis containers, Grace cured Leon as the final fight of the entire run began. Leon took the silencer and shot a couple rounds into Victor's skull while deflecting his attacks. He was a tough boss to deal with. His attacks could be relentless, but I was able to stay on top of him even as he shot electrified tentacles at me. You may be asking how Victor was capable of doing this, and it's simple. Once I did enough damage to him, he mutated to a recognizable enemy, a nemesis, albeit a weaker strand, which is probably why Leon was able to kill him with just a few swings of his hatchet and a round from the Requiem. And with that, the fight was over. Grace and Leon tried to see if there was a way out, but the power slowly started to dim, and the lights went out. It seems like it was going to be the end for them. Until the Hound Wolf Squad arrived. I love these dudes, and singular girl on the team. Who said Chris was sexist?
How many of our men are dead because of that bitch? Bitch!
Gosh damn it. It was all over. Umbrella was officially finished, and now it was time to focus on the bigger enemy, the connections. But before that, Leon told Grace that Emily might not be dead due to him avoiding her vital areas. Did y'all really think they were gonna make Leon Kennedy kill a kid? Come on. He's also married. Ooh. My bet's on Hunnigan. She's the only character he's openly flirted with besides Ada, and to be fair on Ada's part, she is not the type to settle down. She's also a wanted criminal / terrorist throughout the entire world, so there's that. But yeah, that was it. My Resident Evil series run. I will one day come back to the challenge when the next Resident Evil game releases and also incorporate all the older games by request. The reason why I didn't play them, as I said in the first video, is I ran out on my PlayStation Premium. But I got paid, so now I'm actually going to buy them. I'm a big retro nerd as well, so I might even play them on the OG consoles. Maybe. No promises. If you want to see a behind the scenes video of how the production of this video went, it was a lot, join my channel membership. The $2 tier gets you everything, all the behind the scenes videos, as well as weekly updates to how my video progress is coming along, and polls which allow you to vote on what videos I prioritize. The $5 tier will get you your name featured at the end of my videos as a contributor to allow me to make my videos, and an exclusive Discord server.
Computer, load mega luxurious giant-breasted butt-loving magical elf princess orgy 12.
I just got half from a homeless man, Atlanta is my favorite city.